Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Tickets are on sale. The runtime has been confirmed. And many people were saying, look, we need you guys to talk about the runtime of this. Obviously, 2 hours, give or take a couple minutes because of the credits. It'll be under 2 hours, probably like an hour and 58, hour and 59, whatever.
I mean, it's what, 2 hours 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or 2 hours 6.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours probably on the dot, give or take a minute up or down. So what of that are we worried? Is there anything here? I'll be the first to say I'm not a fan of a 2 hour runtime, but I trust Sam Raimi because he makes very tight films when he's the director and he knows what he's working with. So I trust that they made the best decision and they're putting out the best film because we've seen them be willing to put out something that's closer to 3 hours, 2.5, or 2. So there's not a pattern where they're like, oh, all of our bad films are 2 hours. It's like, no, they vary. It's whatever the needed time is. Could some films have used more runtime? Yeah, Thor: The Dark World probably could have used another 30 minutes to be a good film, but
you probably could have taken off 30 to be better.
I honestly probably could have cut out Malekith entirely. So I'm not too worried. What's your take on it, Mitch?
I don't really have an opinion on it. It's a runtime. If the movie's good, the movie's good. I'm not gonna shit myself over the fact that it's not 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 90% of their movies are like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make?
Like looking back on it, most of Raimi's movies weren't long in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, those Spider-Man movies were long. They felt long anyway.
It felt long, but when you look back at it, most of them are around 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I just find it weird. The people that literally hit puberty when Sam Raimi was announced for this movie are now turning on it because it's 2 hours long. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's
like, do you not trust the guy that you're literally championing for most of your life on the internet? I don't understand.
Right. The only thing I notice is a lot of people are convinced that if you have cameos and multiverse, you need to be this long, and not necessarily, because again, we don't know how they're used. Like, we don't know how extensive these cameos are and how important they are to the plot. And for all we know, Professor X is going to be the major supporting character from the multiverse for an act of a film and going into the third one. But the other characters maybe aren't. Like, we don't know if there's 30 characters in this or if there's only like 4, right? Like, the rumors say everybody and your mother is in this film, so who knows? But
so how long is John Cena in this movie as Peacemaker for?
Right, exactly. That's kind of like the expectations we're seeing at this point. It's like, we don't legitimately know, and Marvel Studios has proven they can handle 8 characters in a 2-hour film and make it work, or they can handle, all these characters in a 2.5-hour film and make it work. So it's really down to the script and the director, and I'm confident that the people they got working on Multiverse of Madness are talented because, their other works. So, I mean, would I like the film to be longer? Yes, that's always a case. Like, I'm always like, man, I definitely wish that would have been a little bit longer so I can spend more time with these characters and more of the world. But sometimes,
but that's the thing for after the movie, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you always wish the film was longer after you've seen it, so you don't know if the film needs to be.
Yeah.
I know people are going to be like, oh, no, it needs to be 5 hours long. I'm like, no. Maybe Snyder's to bring up a long movie, right? Not just for the sake of it. 4 hours in that case for the Justice League was too long. It didn't need to be that long. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was nice that it was that long for his sake, but it didn't really need to be that long. You could have cut a good half hour out of that movie. And it's better to, be like, oh, you could have used this much more time. As opposed to, nah, you should have cut half an hour out.
Yeah.
I'm at the end of the day, I'm fine with it. It's
a
movie. It's going to come out. Like, it has no effect on me how long it is in the slightest.
Yeah, as long as it's good, that's all I care about. So
Yeah.
the length
Now, if it was
of
an
it,
hour and a half, different conversation.
yeah,
Different conversation.
exactly.
2 hours is enough.
Yeah. I think people are just spoiled by No Way Home and The Batman being such long films that.
Yeah.
know.
Endgame started this whole thing of, we need to be 3 hours long. I was like, no, you don't.
Yeah, no. Endgame had a lot of moving pieces as well, so it's
exactly. Regardless of what I think of the movie, people don't like Eternals for the runtime. That's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want another situation like that where it's too long and you're not enjoying it?
Exactly. Yep. So it's like, yeah, watch the film and then judge it on what you get, and then if it's really good and tight in 2 hours, and you're like, wow, that was great. Well, guess what? 3 hours could have ruined that pacing and made it boring and a slog. So it's. It goes both ways, I suppose. That's kind of how it is. So, yeah. So I guess that's kind of it. I mean, Tristan, do you have any thoughts on this or
No,
concerns?
not really. No, it's just I don't know why people are getting all up in arms about the runtime of a movie when, like I said, you've seen Raimi's back catalog movies. They don't really run long. I mean, I don't know why people are getting really fed up about 2 hours. It's like. You can get a good enough movie out of 2 hours.
Because people confuse the hell out of me, and I know it's not necessarily the same people saying it.
Yeah.
But you have people saying, "Oh, this movie needs to be 3 hours long because of the multiverse and all the cameos." And when it's not, it's like, "Oh no, you can't fit everything in." It's like, well, you don't.
So how many cameos do you think they're gonna have? Like,
20? Apparently, a lot. It's like the movie it's not about the multiverse. It's about Doctor Strange and Wanda.
It's like at that point you're not watching. You don't want to go to the movies to see the movie about Doctor Strange or Wanda. You just want to go see the cameos.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Glorified cameo fest is, I guess, what people want. Which, again, to some degree, we're still gonna get. We're definitely getting that, but.
Yeah. But you're never going to get a movie where they stop for 10 minutes to develop every single cameo. Like, you're never going to have that. And you would only need that in like a 4-hour, 3-hour movie.
You would need that maybe when we get to some Secret Wars where you introduce a couple new characters. It's like, okay, here's your, but, yeah.
It depends how they handle that.
It's like people have like this expectation that they're going to like dedicate like 25 minutes to introduce every character on the alternate world X-Men roster.
I need this movie to have several intermissions where they're a Tom Cruise Iron Man trilogy. I want to be in the theater all day for this movie.
They just reshape it from Tom Cruise's point of view. It's like, yes.
It's just literally Iron Man deep fake to have Tom Cruise's face. I'm fine with that. Katie Holmes is Pepper Potts. There you go, Dan.
Yes, there we go. So there you go, guys. That's our thoughts on it. Again, we're going to know in less than a month how this film is, so we'll talk about it being amazing or garbage in a month, and we'll see what happens. And if the runtime was
maybe it's just okay.
Maybe it's just okay, yes. But we've learned nothing can be just okay. It has to be the best thing or the worst thing ever. It can never just be okay.
I forgot we're on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We will.